Hey everyone, Dave here, and today we're making cottage cheese keto hot pockets, and we're gonna make them a few different ways. Not everyone likes the same fillings in their hot pockets, which means we're gonna start off with a bit of prep work to make our fillings. I'm really excited about these. I love hot pockets, but it's not something you can enjoy when you're on keto, so I think this is a really cool thing. If it works out, if it tastes good, you know this channel, sometimes we fail, but we shall try. All right, so I think I found the vast majority of ingredients I need for this. Let's talk about which ones I'm doing. Obviously, you could do different fillings if you like different. I'm gonna start off with the Philly cheesesteak filling. That's one of my favorites. Philly cheesesteak, and I'm crazy, I put ketchup on it. Judge me in the comments below. I also put ketchup on the cheesesteaks I get when I go to Philly, so I really deserve the judgment. We're also gonna need some sausage cooked up. So we got a whole bunch going on. I wanna start off with some onions though. All right, so let's see if my knife sharpened itself. It might not have. I don't think they generally do, so I'm probably still using a dull knife, but you know, put your judgments in the comments. So for our Philly cheesesteak, of course we have to have some onions. You could do peppers too, but I did not get peppers, so I'm just gonna do onions. I'm gonna chop those up. I should maybe dice them, but I think I'm just gonna slice them. And I'm gonna throw them into a pan on the oven with some olive oil in it. I'm gonna put the olive oil in there, move it around, bring it around town, and then throw in my onions. And I just want to get those really nice and sauteed. I'm also gonna throw some salt and pepper on those because you want every ingredient to be delicious. That's obviously gonna help us out. Now I'm not gonna caramelize them. So caramelizing them would take like an hour. That probably would be delicious, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm impatient and I'm hungry. Now while we wait for those to heat up, we are gonna throw our shaved beef in with them because they're gonna be part of that Philly cheesesteak one. We can kind of start working on some of the other ones. For example, our pepperoni pizza one, another one of my faves. And we're just gonna chop up the pepperoni so that it's, you know, in like little bite-sized pieces. We don't want a big giant pepperoni piece in one of these. Hey guys, really quick, we need to talk about today's sponsor. It's HelloFresh. I already kind of opened it to make sure all the ingredients were in there. They are, look at that. But HelloFresh is awesome. So I've used this for a long time and they asked me if they could sponsor a video. And so let's talk about it a little bit. They send you a full recipe, all pre-portioned ingredients, everything you need to do the recipe, step-by-step instructions on the back, and they make cooking so incredibly easy. True story, real story. I'm gonna cook it here. I'm not gonna cook the whole thing on video, but I'll show you kind of the before and after and a little of the process. But my wife, Tina, she never learned to cook growing up. And so when we got married, there wasn't much cooking on her end, but what actually happened, once we had kids, she really wanted to start doing a lot of the cooking for the kids, and HelloFresh actually taught her how to cook. Like, she didn't go to a class with HelloFresh or anything, but just by us ordering these HelloFresh meals and her following the instructions and learning all these cooking methods and stuff, she was able to become a very good cook just by using HelloFresh. So I think that's a really cool testimony on a personal level of why I love HelloFresh. The thing is, dinner can be overwhelming, and I know Tina finds it that way, like just figuring out the meal, figuring out the ingredients, making the plan. This takes all that out of the equation. You look at the app, you choose your meals for the week, and you know, you can pick your diet preference. Maybe you want keto, maybe you want high protein, whatever. You can pick different things in there and kind of choose your meals based on the macros. And then they just send you all the ingredients and the instructions, and it'll just walk you through cooking it step by step. It's awesome. They always use high quality ingredients. The vast majority of it is farm to table, like fresh produce, things like that. You don't have to worry about like going to a grocery store and only seeing crappy looking vegetables, right? And I think one of the biggest things is that every time I cook a meal with HelloFresh, or Tina does, it ends up tasting delicious. So I'm gonna like snap my fingers and I'll have this meal prepared out in front of me. Look at that. All right guys, so here, see, magic of editing, dish completed. About 15, 20 minutes for me to cook this sweet chili chicken bowl. Look how good it looks. It looks just like the picture. Now I'm gonna try it and see how awesome it is. I know it smells delicious. Let's get a little of the chicken, some peanuts. There's some candied peanuts in this, and some of the veggies here. It's hot. Fresh out the oven. Ooh, it's hot. It was so good. That is really delicious. And you got the rice with it too. Well, this is just my happy place, guys. Let me give you the important details so you can get your discount, because you can save some money. Take advantage of HelloFresh's incredible offer by using my code COOKINGWITHDAVEFM, which stands for free meals. Get it? FM, free meals. You actually get 10 free meals plus free add-ons for life. 1 free add-on per box with active subscription. The free meals are applied as a discount on the first box you order. It is for new subscribers only, meaning you haven't done HelloFresh before. Sign up today using my code CookingWithDaveFM, and I'll put a link down below. You can click that and then use code CookingWithDaveFM to get your 10 free meals. It's definitely, I mean, it's free food, guys. Why not? Who doesn't want free food? It's tough out there. I'm always down for free food, especially when it's this simple and this delicious. All right, let's get back to the video. All right, so I'm just moving my onions around. They're starting to sizzle, and we do want to get them a little browned. Probably take like 5 to 10 minutes at the most. Okay, so the onions are coming. We're about to add the shaved beef. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my, literally they sell this in Wally World. I don't know, am I supposed to put meat on a wooden cutting board? Oh well, I did it anyways. I'm gonna chop this up because, you know, it's a Philly cheesesteak and we're gonna want it nice and chopped. So this should cook really fast, the shaved steak. We will add that in there in just a mo when those onions are a little further along. I think my onions are looking pretty good here. I'm probably about ready. I don't want to burn them. I'm probably about ready to add my shaved beef. So I'm going to go ahead and move them to the side. Plop in the shaved beef. It's about 2 cups worth of shaved beef and a full onion. This is probably going to make a ton of filling, so you'll want to, you know, cut the recipe in half or so if you want just servings for 1 or something. We're gonna spread out the beef, get it cooking. We might, at this point, wanna add our garlic powder, which we're just gonna do about a 1/4 teaspoon of to add some flavor. We're also gonna do a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. You can also add more salt and pepper to taste if you want, and we are gonna add some mozzarella in just a minute. First, I wanna get this beef nice and cooked. So it's coming along. Do I need more olive oil? Probably not. It's kind of greasy on its own. All right, so it's almost done here. Once it, so I don't really know order of operations if I'm doing this correctly, but once it does like kind of all look brown to me, I'm gonna add in my 1/3 to 2/3 cup of mozzarella cheese. It doesn't sound like enough. Maybe I'll add a little more cheese. Maybe I'll do the full 2/3. I think I'm gonna do 3/4 cups of mozzarella, or you could do shredded provolone. That would probably be more standard, but I don't have any of that. So we're gonna use mozzarella. We're gonna add that in. I'm gonna turn the heat off. Add in my cheese, like so. Mix that up, get it kind of melted and good looking, like that. Is that enough cheese? Yeah, it's probably enough cheese. It's starting to like gooify together. I think that's good. So there's our Philly cheesesteak filling. That's easy. That was easy. That was easy peasy. We're gonna put it into a bowl here. I'm gonna use the same bowl to save on our same dish to do our next filling. I got it all over the bowl. We can get the idea. There's our filling for the Philly cheesesteak. We can throw that in the fridge. We don't need it to be super scorching hot as far as I know. So I'm gonna cool it off. It's gonna be easier to work with if it cools. I'm just gonna clean out my pan with a paper towel, and then we're gonna throw our sausage onto that same pan and start browning that up. And this will be for our sausage, egg, and cheese Hot Pocket. And I am getting some of those brown bits of cheese and stuff into the sausage, but I don't think that's gonna be a bad thing. I think that's gonna be a asset. All right, let's let that cook up for a few minutes. All right, so as you can see, our sausage is coming along nicely. I do have my heat pretty high, which I'm getting a little bit of browning from. I could turn it down, but I'm hungry, like I said, so I wanna cook it fast. If you're gonna keep it this high, you should really constantly be moving the sausage around probably, because I've got it on max heat. All right, so I would say this sausage looks good to me, or good enough. So I'm gonna put it into a bowl as well, off to the side. And yes, I'm gonna use the same pan again, because I'm just feeling crazy today. Crazy about not doing dishes. So there's our sausage, we'll set that aside. We want 4 eggs into a bowl, because we are making sausage, egg, and cheese here. 1, try not to get any shells in it if you can avoid it. 2, that was a terrible egg crack. 3, oh my gosh. 1 more. 4. I'm gonna give my pan the paper towel clean again. This would be a good ad for this pan, but I already did that ad. Anyways, we wanna scramble our eggs up here. I'll plop down a little butter. Plop is such an attractive word. And I've turned my heat way down because I'm just gonna scramble these eggs like kind of lightly. Drop the eggs into the same dish, like so. And we'll just cook them up real quick. A little scramble. Now I have watched the Gordon Ramsay videos where he says scramble it non-stop the whole time to make the fluffiest. I don't care. I'm not that picky with scrambled eggs, especially if they're going in a Hot Pocket. We're just trying to get them cooked. These are looking pretty good to me. Not gonna go too long on them. There we go. Pop them into a bowl. See, it's like a lot of little things you gotta cook, but they're all very easy things to cook. All right, so in with the eggs. Now this is all still kind of hot. We're gonna add the sausage. We want it to still be a little hot. We're gonna do 3/4 cups of cheddar cheese. I wanna try to not get it all over the counter, but I don't think it's gonna work. So a little bit more. 3/4 cups of cheddar cheese. And then we'll do 3 tablespoons, Yeah, 3 tablespoons of, how do you measure a tablespoon? Do they give you the 1, 2, is that 3 ounces? That's probably too much. Oh, 1 ounce equals 2 tablespoons. So really I want a little less than this, so I'll take a little bit off. Around 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. You know what? Who cares? A little extra cream cheese never hurt nobody. We want to, let me clean up my mess a little bit. We want to go ahead and mix this all together. You kind of want your cheeses to melt a bit so that this all comes together and becomes like a nice sticky filling, just like the Philly cheesesteak filling did. And those are actually, I think, our 2 hardest fillings. Then we got to get to the dough, which of course the dough might be a bit challenging too. We'll see. I've never made it, guys. You know how I like to do on this channel. I like to be an adventurer and try things for the first time with you so we can see how it goes. All right, that looks nice and mixed up. We're gonna put that in the fridge to let it cool as well, again, so it's easy to work with once we have our dough ready. I'm about to run out of bowls. There's a lot of bowls here, so we're gonna take about 3/4 cups of pepperoni diced up. This is our 3rd one. Then we'll do a 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella, which I kind of eyeballed perfectly. 1/4 cup of a low-carb pizza sauce. I've got some Rouse here. I'm just gonna do a 1/4 cup of that. 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, and eyeballing it. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, which I'm gonna use my 1/4 teaspoon twice. A dash of garlic powder. Dash. I'm gonna try to mix this with my hands, even though my cream cheese isn't very soft. Maybe it'll work anyways, just with a fork. It's working. You might wanna use a blender for this part. Not a blender, but like a mixer, a power mixer. That's the pepperoni filling. So we have our 3 fillings. Now we need to work on the actual Hot Pocket. All right, so to start off, guys, we are gonna need 2 cups of blendered cottage cheese. You know, it is a cottage cheese keto recipe after all. So in typical Dave fashion, I will take a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese times 2 and put it into my little Ninja chopper. Wait, someone told me, oh yeah, we were doing immersion blender for a while. Remember that? We could go back to that. Too late now. I'm already too far down the path of using this little Ninja chop thingy. So we got a cup of that. And we're just gonna prepare the blender for the cottage cheese. Go on, there we go. Let's blend it up. All right, let's see if it looks well blentified. I want to get it off the sides and go a little bit longer here. Really want it to be chunk free in 93. Now I know it's not the year 93, but it was at one point, and that was a big thing for the 93-ins, was being chunk free in your cottage cheese. I'm making this whole thing up. All right, that should be good. That should be good. Good enough, good-ish. That's kind of, you know, the target I set for myself is good-ish to good enough, somewhere in that range there. Let's set that aside. I have used so many bowls for this recipe. What's on this one? It's on the I think it's paint. We painted our doors in our house black. You ever seen that? It looks kind of cool. So into this bowl, which this might be too small. Too small of a bowl? It's kind of small. I've got a bigger bowl. Introducing Mega Bowl. We'll use Mega Bowl. We'll use this for the other part of this dough. We want 2 cups of the finest quality almond flour. We then are gonna want 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder in here. 1, 2, and 1/4 and 1/2. So 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 3/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum, which is pretty common in keto. I'm assuming you might have some if you do a lot of keto stuff. And 3. Then we'll do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Try not to overflow it here. It's not smart to do it over the bowl like this. That was really dumb, Dave. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna do medium accuracy on my measuring. Then I'm gonna mix that all up. I know I could use like a whisker. I probably should. I have one. You guys yell at me because I never use it, but I do have one. See, look at that. That does actually work a little better. You can also throw a dash of garlic powder in there. Maybe I won't. You can though, it's an option. Then we wanna make our fathead dough. Well, not our fathead dough, our mozzarella. That's not the dough, the whole thing is the dough. So to do that, I want a tablespoon of butter, plop, and 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. And I'm gonna try to use up the stuff in this bag first and then move to the other bag. See, that's called smart, Dave. Actually, I might have another half bag, let me look. No, I didn't have anything else. that's 1 cup, and then we'll do a 2nd cup of mozzarella. And then we're gonna melt this in 30-second intervals until it's all melted up. We're gonna need 1 egg coming up here soon. All right, so I would say our cheese is where we want it, nice and melty and delicious looking. Yeah, that looks good. We're going to add that in with our dry ingredients from earlier, like that. If I can get it off my fork. Then we're gonna add in our cottage cheese to the mix. That's a cup of it, blended it up, remember? Remember when we did that? I remember. And then 1 egg goes in there as well. And then we can just mix it up. You can use your hands or you can use a spatula. I'm using my hands, I guess, because that's just kind of the path I chose. I kind of instantly regretted it, I'll be honest, because it's super sticky and hot and uncomfortable, but whatever. I gotta stand on my tippy toes because I can't see into the bowl or reach into it because I'm a short guy. Truth comes out, Dave's a short guy. How short is he? Your guess in the comments below. Hey guys, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. That helps Dave out, helps me to make more videos, keeps the content coming. So I really appreciate it if you do go ahead and give me a subscribe, a like, all that fun stuff if you enjoy my videos and me trying to cook things, sometimes failing. This could still ultimately fail. We shall see. And you're supposed to knead this together for like a minute or 2. I'm gonna put it back into my small bowl, not Smallville, starring Tom Welling and Kristen Couric, Michael Rosenbaum. Shall I name all the characters? I'm gonna make it into a ball, put it into our bowl from earlier just because it's a little smaller. We're gonna put this plastic wrap over the dough, throw it into the fridge for about 15 minutes, then we'll be ready to assemble our Hot Pockets. This would be a good time to also preheat your oven to 375 so that we're ready to cook it after the assembly step. I'll be right back. All right guys, I'm back. It's been a nice quick 15-minute break here. Oven is mostly preheated. Our dough should have chilled a little bit. Not like icy cold, but a little chilling. It's been doing some chilling. Yeah, it feels pretty cold. We want to get 6 balls out of this of equal size. So we're just gonna eyeball it. 6, that one needs a little more. It's a little too small. Maybe a little on that one. All right, so now we have 6 balls of mostly equal size. And dirty hands again. And then we're just gonna take like 1 ball at a time, and we're gonna take our time. We're gonna do another piece of parchment paper over the top of it. And we're gonna try to make a rectangle that is about 5 by 7. And I think it's gonna take a little bit of like dodging here. 5 by 7 seems big, right? Well, not that, it's like the size of a cell phone, I think. Still not really even remotely a rectangle, but we can make it into one with the power of squoosh. Okay, all right. I need like a rolling pin. All right, I found a rolling pin. So we're gonna just make this a little bit flatter. I can see a chunk of cottage cheese, meaning I didn't get the cottage cheese completely smooth. All right, I think that's probably pretty good, right? It's about 5 by 7. And we'll start this one off since I have it right here with the pepperoni. This will be a pepperoni and cheese Hot Pocket. Do I wanna do it lengthwise or widthwise? We'll try it like that. I feel like we could do a little bit more. And then we're gonna fold it over, like so, and kind of pinch the edges without kind of messing it up too much. There we go. I don't know if I'm supposed to like leave it on parchment paper, probably. We'll just do that for now, and we'll move it around as needed. That'll be our first one. And okay, rinse and repeat, I guess. Our other fillings here. I think I have too much filling. Look how quick I did it that time. So now we'll do our Philly steak version, like so, and fold it over again. Do we fold it? Which way do we fold it? Actually, I think we want to do it like this. Scoot it a little. Am I even on camera? I am. We're good. Oh, see, this is a dilemma, which I didn't think about that, but that is an issue, and I've had this happen before. When I use just a rolling pin, sometimes it kind of goes too thin, and I end up with a situation like this where it's kind of not really forming well because I made it too skinny. So I will be careful with the next one not to do that. I think we're okay though. On this one, I'm gonna go back to using my hands, I think. And then I'll do the rolling pin at the end. So this one, we're gonna do the sausage and egg version. And this one's a little smaller, like it just was less dough. I didn't do it fully evenly, so I'm gonna do it a different direction this time, like that, because I don't want it to fall apart. I mean, the shape isn't that important. The general taste and all that fun stuff is what really matters. Still looks like a Hot Pocket to me. Okay, so when all is said and done, guys, this is what we ended up with. Voila, Hot Pockets galore of the keto variety into the oven, 375, 22 minutes. All right, guys, check it out. We have our Hot Pockets. They look really good. I took them out. I let them sit for 5 minutes. I hope they're good. We're gonna try them and see. Let's see, this one is, I don't even know what's what. Crack it open. Oh, that's one of the Philly cheesesteak ones. It was still super hot. You can kind of see the cross section there. Now, if this was me cooking a Hot Pocket, I'm telling you, I'd be putting like some low sugar ketchup on this because I do love the way that adds to it, but mouth is watering. So I clearly want to try this. Let's see how it tastes. Hot Pocket. That's good. That's amazing. Love the one with the steak. I mean, this might be one of the best keto things we've ever cooked on here. That's incredible. That's so good. Let's try a pizza one. Oh, that's so hot. So you might be good to let it cool a little more because mine's still super scorching hot. Here's the pizza one, pepperoni and cheese. Let me know what your favorite Hot Pocket is in the comments below. Ooh, that one's awesome. Okay, so that one's amazing too. So what do we do now? They're both amazing. Now I want to try to find the one that was sausage. This should be sausage and cheese right here. So let's just cut a piece of that off. Ooh, the pepperoni and cheese one is really good. Maybe even better than the beef one. Here's a sausage and cheese cross section. I mean, these are great, guys. This is a great recipe. You should do this. You should definitely do this. Even that's delicious. 10 out of 10, would cook again. They're so good. All right, guys, highly recommend. This came out great. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, hit the like. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.